Hey everybody, Matt here. Today I'm going to show you how I made these spur gears. So I started off by booting up LibreCAD and drawing a gear design that I thought looked good and might work pretty well. But honestly, it was my best guess. I really don't know that much about gears at this point. I just finished making the dowel gears, and there were a lot of steps in making those gears. So I wanted to take a crack at designing and making a gear with a fewer number of steps, a gear that was easier for me to make. So this is what I came up with. So I cut out the two gears, roughly, found a piece of reclaimed particle board to make the gears out of, took my belt sander and sanded off both sides of this piece of particle board. I wanted to start off with a nice flat smooth surface with which to glue the paper templates on. I took my paper templates, used some purple glue stick, and glued both the templates down on the piece of sanded particle board. Then I used a drywall screw just to mark where the center of the hole is for the bearing for each gear. So these gears, just like the dowel gears I made previously, use a bearing with a 30mm OD. So just like with the dowel gears, I used a 30mm Forstner bit and drilled out the center of each gear so that it would accept the bearing. Then it was off to the bandsaw to cut out the material between each of the teeth on both gears. As you can see, I'm cutting along a straight line for the edges of each tooth. So that's fairly straightforward and pretty easy to cut very accurately on the bandsaw. Then I started cutting diagonally to get that piece out between the gear teeth. The trick here is just to be patient and go slow. Take your time. With most of the material cut away, then I can go back in and sort of chisel away at what little is remaining. Again, just go slow, be patient, and you can make a pretty accurate cut. I was able to get right up to the line. So after I got the two gears cut out, I just pressed the bearing in by hand and then slid each of the gears over the 10mm bolts that you saw me use in the dowel gear video, and then started testing the gears. So it didn't take long to notice that there were definitely some binds, and the gears were not quite meshing the way I had hoped, but that's okay. The whole thing's a big experiment anyway. So I just continued to play with them and tried to see where the binds were. Once I had an idea of what to do to try and make the gears mesh a little bit cleaner, I just took a file and started rounding over the corners, trying to smooth out the gears. After some filing and rounding over the corners and just generally smoothing out the gears, they did start to mesh a lot nicer. However, when you listen to them, you can hear that they're quite noisy. They kind of bang into one another. And there still are some binds, so they're definitely not perfect. And you can see there's quite a bit of play. Here's a zoomed in view. You can see how much play there is between the gear teeth. Something I would change the next time around. They do spin, but they are clunky. Overall, I would say these gears came out okay. I certainly learned a lot. Next time around, I would change the design to get rid of some of the excess play and to try and eliminate more of the binds. But as you saw, these gears came together very quickly. They're very easy to cut. So it's a design I will probably pursue some more and try and perfect it a little bit better. Thanks for watching.